Over the past year here on 8 West, we've introduced you to a Dr. Paul Kemeter several times. He's the medical director of the Bariatric Surgery program at St. Mary's Healthcare.
Well, today he's brought with him another physician. This interview has a twist, however, because Dr. John Lemke is a patient. He actually underwent bariatric surgery several years ago, and you look amazing. Let's start off, Dr. Kemeter. Tell us, when another physician comes to you, overweight, significantly overweight, what kind of a challenge was that for you?
Well, I'll take a step back and tell you one of the concepts that sometimes people have, and it's a misconception, is that obese patients are kind of stupid and lazy. And when a physician comes in, I can tell you he's anything but stupid and lazy. And frankly, I can't describe any of my patients that way. But for a physician in general, how much work it took to get to the point where he's at, he's a hard-working individual. But despite that, he had a disease known as morbid obesity. And so the challenge is the challenge that we have with any of our patients. This is a disease, it's a deadly disease, and it's how do you address that? How do you come up with the right procedure to try and give long-lasting results, lengthen life, get rid of some of those diseases? So that's really the challenge we have with any patient that comes through. The nice thing when John comes is that he knows all this, and he's as well educated as I am about it.
You know, it's interesting because you talk about the illnesses that you're at great risk of, and kind of knowing whether bariatric surgery maybe is something that you should consider.
Right. And as I said in the segment before, is you've got to be sick and tired of being sick and tired. And when you hit that point, it's time to start thinking about what am I going to do to get healthier. And patients who are motivated are going to do very, very well. And as John tells the story, you're going to see he's very, very motivated, but he was motivated at that point to make the decision of changing his life for obviously the better.
Now, John, we know that St. Mary's offers so many different procedures. Now, what helped you decide that lap band was the correct procedure for you?
Well, this was a while ago, before the gastric sleeve was available. At that time, we basically had Roux-en-Y, which what people call bypass, and then the lap band. I liked the lap band because it could be done laparoscopically. It didn't really change the anatomy internally, and I would be able to go back to work with minimal fuss.
And we've seen some pictures. The before and afters are really just incredible. It must have been really life-changing for you. And at this point, you said you feel better at 64 than you did at 50? Absolutely.
I have much more energy now. My wife actually had to adapt to a different person as I lost weight, because I had more energy. I wanted to do more things. I didn't fall asleep when I came home from work every night. It has changed my life in so many ways. I don't have time to tell you them all.
Tell me about the emotions that come up when you look back through some of these pictures of you, the old John.
It is the old John. I look at some of them and I think, oh my God, I walked around looking like that. And even more, I was so unhealthy. I had no energy. My knees hurt all the time. I had a list of diseases, and that one's standing next to my son, who is incredibly healthy, and I look like I'm going to die next week.
You look younger today than you did when that picture was taken.
Yeah, I feel much better today. I am younger today, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Actually, I bet if you did my biological age, I'm younger now than I was 10 years ago.
Wow. Well, I think a lot of people that have considered this type of procedure, some people are thinking that you can go in, this is a quick fix. That's not really the case. You actually have done a lot of this with diet and exercise along with the procedure.
Absolutely. This is not magic. I characterize it to my own patients as a bargain with the devil, because you are permanently changing the way you would address food. But this is a tool. This is another way, another thing that you can do to help you to lose the weight that you really have to lose to have a quality life. Don't think of it as magic, absolutely.
And you know, it's interesting because you have such a wonderful perspective, and I'm guessing that the care that you can offer to your patients, I'm guessing the percentages are the same in the population at large as they are in your own practice. You must see a number of people who come in who could benefit from these procedures.
Absolutely, and I share with them that I've had the surgery. I mean, I will say to them, you know, you need to lose weight. And I give them the reasons why, and they say, yeah, but I can't do it, Doc. I say, well, if you've tried everything else, you know, and everything else has failed for you, then perhaps surgery would be an answer. And I tell them, you know, what happened to me and how it's benefited me.
Now, this has obviously changed your life for the better, and you have something really special coming up very soon. Tell us about that.
Well, we are. My wife and I are going to ride our bicycle across the country. We're going to start in Seattle, Washington, and finish in Washington, D.C. It's a benefit for the American Lung Association. We picked that because, well, this is something we wanted to do since we're in college, and since we're going to do it, why not help somebody out? So we're raising money for the American Lung Association. My wife also has asthma, fairly severe asthma, and my father had lung cancer at 63. So in a sense, this ride is for the things that he never got to do.
Wow. Now this is going on for 7 weeks, the ride?
7 weeks.
Okay.
We ride, it's a 48-day trip. We ride 40 days out of the 48, and we average 83 miles a day.
Wow.
The longest day is 112 miles in northeast Wyoming.
Wow. If somebody would have said 10 years ago, guess what you're going to be doing in the summer of 2011, you would have laughed at them.
No. How could you sit on a bike when you have that much weight on that little tiny seat?
Well, that's amazing. Dr. Kimmeter, this has to make you just feel so good. I know that you're passionate about the lives that you change and save. People can connect with you, and people shouldn't wait.
Yeah, this, you know, John is an example of why I do what I do. You know, he brings a smile to my face. You know, he's thinking outside of himself now, and he's raising money for a great cause. My dad died of metastatic lung cancer as well, and so St. Mary's has helped sponsor the ride, and I think you're still looking for sponsors if anybody wants to help sponsor a great cause. But yeah, absolutely, this brings a smile to my face, and it's why I wake up every morning to do what I do.
Well, that's amazing. My sister-in-law passed away of lung cancer, never smoked, 46 years old, never lived to see her youngest son graduate from high school. So it's incredible. Thank you for what you're doing, and both of you.
Right.
Congratulations.
We'll be right back.
This is 8 West.